Did you know that in Garten of Ps4, when you're driving in Singer Frillin's car, you can actually see a scary Nab chasing you along the journey? This is Garten of Ps3, and in today's video, I'll be showing you all of the different secrets that have been found and all of the Easter eggs that you may have missed. Now bear in mind, because there are a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of bugs, and a lot of glitches, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be something that you did miss. So stay tuned, because this one's going to be interesting. So in one of the first missions that we actually do, you know everyone has to collect the crayons. But after collecting the crayons, something very interesting happens. As you're leaving the diner and as you look around, in the top left, you can see that there is a secret Nab that is spying on you for some reason. We aren't sure as to why Nab is spying on you, and he doesn't really stay there for long. But what he does do is creepily look over the wall, and you can see he seems to be hiding in that vent. Now what's crazy is that the player actually can't enter the vent, and we do see Nab later on in the game, but we aren't exactly sure as to why they put that in. I think it is an Easter egg from when later on in the game, we actually see Nab climbing on the wall around with his friend. I'm pretty sure that's what this is foreshadowing, or maybe I could be wrong. Maybe they just want to scare us a little bit or provide us with a really cool Easter egg. Remember how we said there were tons of bugs and stuff like that in this game? You can actually use your drone and actually try and push the Nab off. Although it doesn't work, it's still a very interesting thing because your drone actually does interact with Nab. Although there's no unique voice lines and stuff like that, it still is very interesting to see that Nab doesn't really react to your drone, but the drone can actually hit him and he will fall back. Now you also do get to see the secret area where the secret tape is. This is actually one of the first secret tapes that you do get to access once you unlock some of the codes later on in the game. Now this next one isn't exactly a secret, but it actually might be a secret Easter egg. Remember these criminals that we do put in the jail? Some people are arguing that they actually look like Green from the Rainbow Friends franchise. And I can honestly understand what they're saying because half of the head actually does have the googly eyes, and although it doesn't have the color, it does have the same exact shape that Green actually does. And of course, they're both horror games. So maybe there's a collaboration coming very soon. Now this one is a secret that I actually did manage to miss, so I didn't actually get gameplay. But when you're actually looking at the boss's chair, you need to actually look right underneath, because if you look right underneath, there's a secret button that you can press, and then that is going to give you access to one of these secret tapes. Now like I said, I missed it, but I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick. So even if you miss some of the secret tapes and you don't want to go back to them, you can do this secret trick right here, and you're able to access all the secret tapes and tricks that you didn't know existed. So if you go over to your files and then you navigate to a folder that says movies, you're going to see a secret folder like this, and in there you're going to see 6 different movie clips. Now essentially these 6 different clips are all the secret tapes that are in the game. So if perhaps you don't want to restart the game and go and find every single secret tape, this is where you can watch all of them. So take a look at these secret tapes. So the first one that we have here is actually Banbalina, and of course we can see that she does look kind of sad. She seems to be either sitting or sulking against the wall in some kind of prison cell. Now this is just the first tape that we do see, so I'm not exactly sure what this tape is or what it's doing, but your comments are going to be very valuable. The next tape we have here is of course of something else. Now this tape I do think is just a frog bouncing around. Honestly, some of these tapes are very confusing, but they are in the game for a reason, so if you do know what this tape is, definitely leave a comment down below. Now this next tape is of course of Ban. Now this one actually does make sense. We can see that Ban is actually changing here, and we can see that he's actually sort of evolving, or that he's going to be changing into the version that we do see chase us at the end of the game. So this one is actually really scary because it shows the evolution of how Ban actually became insane. Then of course we have this one right here. Now this one is actually referring to what we see in Ban number 1, where we actually have the kindergarten. But what's crazy is that we actually see some real life people. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be doing, and I think that is Banbalina on the floor, but it's still very interesting. Then of course we have this clip right here, which is another clip that is actually just a loop of Ban on the ground. I'm not exactly sure what this is because it's just a video clip and it's not actually a secret videotape. This might just be something that they might release in the next version of the game. Then of course we have this strange clip here, which is just Jumbo Josh being injected with something, but I'm not exactly sure what this is, so leave a comment down below for this one too, because this is really weird. Secret we have here is one that is honestly quite interesting, but at the same time very scary. So as we're doing surgery on Nabnalina, you notice that this is a very stressful situation because it's actually a pretty hard mission. But just as you're about to end the mission, as the door opens up, you can see that Nabnalina is sitting right there, and she quickly runs off. Now, you don't exactly know where she goes because she disappears very quickly, but it is pretty scary that she's just watching you pick up the cards. Not sure why this is, but definitely a scary Easter egg. Then of course we had this Easter egg, which is only available if you turn around. You see, in the car that you're going in, which is Stinger Flynn's Stingermobile, you are driving to an unknown destination when Stinger crashes his car. But if you turn around and you're an eagle-eyed person, then you can see Nab slowly, well, not slowly actually, he's chasing you down the road. Now, Nab doesn't actually manage to catch up to you, and there's no way for Nab to harm you, but it is very interesting because it shows that in this game, Nab is clearly everywhere and anywhere all the time. So this is a really cool Easter egg that you're only going to see if you decide to turn around. Then of course we had the boss battle, which was actually really hard for me, but I actually discovered a really cool secret, and I'm not sure if it's an Easter egg. So anytime I was actually trying to defeat the boss, I realized that if you actually stayed in the left-hand corner and he tried to hit you with his balls, they never actually could touch you, and he just simply hit the guardrail. Now there's another secret thing that you might not know, and this is that when you are actually finishing the mission and completing the boss, there's a secret piece of paper, but this isn't just any secret paper. What makes this one so interesting is that it houses 3 new characters. Now the one on the bottom left is the one that we know and we saw. The one at the top does kind of look like Zolphius, but the one at the bottom right is one that we haven't actually seen this episode, and we don't know who that character is. Now it actually does kind of look like some kind of frog / humanoid creature, but we aren't really sure, and what you need to pay attention to here is the fact that this actual screenshot that you guys can see actually has a bunch of ink over it. So what this means is that there's also some secrets that we're not able to see because some of it is actually hidden. We're not sure why. This ink is covering a huge piece of information that should be revealed in chapter 4. Speaking of chapter 4, there was actually a teaser trailer released by the official Garten and Banban game. Now, would you look at this right here? This is exactly what we were expecting. You see, this image is of course featuring these new characters, but that isn't all. In this teaser trailer, we also see a new hat, and of course, if you know anything about some of the new characters, you'll know that this is actually referring to the sheriff's hat, because of course the character is called Sheriff Toadster. So remember, this is Sheriff Toadster because when the camera pans, we also see something cool, which of course is the sheriff's badge. Now I'm about to blow your minds with this next clip here. Remember earlier when we saw this clip and we wondered what on earth was this toad doing here? Well, some eagle-eyed viewers spotted out that this could actually be the Sheriff Toadster's origins, because of course, as you know, Sheriff Toadster is a toad, which does look like something that Sheriff Toadster would evolve from. Now, did I also mention that at the end of this story, there was actually a secret line from Zolphius that actually says, "I am sorry." But for some reason, this line is actually in Spanish. So many people are debating whether or not this was intentional or this was a mistake. But for now, we don't know. But if there are any other secret Easter eggs that you found in this game, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below, because I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more that people